Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to another video tutorial here at Daily Beats. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made a beat using the construction kit called Daily Beats Sample Pack Volume 8. So this is the beat that I'm going to show you today. As you can hear, a very powerful and very nice beat, a very hip-hop beat. And this actually reminds me of one track from Redman, which I don't remember exactly the name, but it's called Dope Man. Dope Man, Dope Man, da-na-na, something like that. So I think the beat sounds similar in a way. Of course, it's not the same, but it has the same vibe, especially with the piano off beat. So let's go ahead and see the elements, and I will start with the drums. So I will show you pretty much all the drums together, and then I go and show you each single individual element of the drums. So let's hear the drums all together, alone. And I have here this pattern of the toms that I think sounds really, really cool. And they give this kind of a break at the end of each bar, each fourth bar. So I think it sounds really cool. So let's listen to the drums alone. So really cool, really dope. Let's now go to every single parameter. And what I did here, for instance, for the kick, I have this kick, and this is from the folder Trap in the Lab, and the kick sounds like this. Then I added a kick layer, and the kick layer is from the Love Story kick, or the Love Story sample pack, and this kick that is inside of that folder. And it's basically a layer that I added to the normal kick to give it a different vibe, a more live vibe, because this you will hear this kick layer doesn't have too much low frequencies, but it has a really cool top end that makes it sound like a kick from a drum set. So let's listen. And as you can hear, this really looks like a kick from a drum set. This combined with the normal kick makes the kick the kick of the drum sound really, really punchy and really full. Then we have the toms. For the toms, I used the toms from Love Story folder, and I have a tom high, a tom mid, and a tom low. And actually, this is the mid, tom mid also, but it's in a lower pitch than the first one that I showed you. And then we have the hi-hats. For the hi-hats, I used two samples, and I used the normal hi-hat and an open hi-hat. And for the hi-hat, I use this sample from the folder Love Story. I think the folder Love Story has some really cool live drums, so that's why I used it, and that's why these drums sound really, really nice. This is how it sounds. I also applied an envelope here so that it sounds a little bit shorter, because I thought it had too much release and I didn't want that. And then I have a open hi-hat, which is the combination of the normal hi-hat and the open hi-hat. Sounds really, really cool. And at the end we have the snare. The snare is a sample from the My Bros Where You At folder, and it sounds like this. So as you can hear, I'm combining several different elements from different folders so that I can make the best out of the drums that I want, the vibe that I want. And let's listen again to the drums, and I will disable the layer kick so that you can feel the difference of having the extra layer of the kick, the layer that sounds like a drum set, and you will see the difference. The kick layer just adds a little bit of environment to the drum. So it makes the kick a part of the drums, because all the other drums sound like they belong to the same drum set. And when I put the kick layer, it makes it all sound harmonious together. I think that's the correct word. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump to the sample. The sample, it's also from the My Bros Where You At folder, and the sample sounds something like this. So what I did here was I pitched the sample up 500 cents. Of course, I cut it everything, and this is actually the entire instrument. So what I did for this sample pack was I exported the individual instruments, and then I also exported the entire instruments in one single loop. So you have the bass, you have the piano, everything into one single sample, so that it's a little bit easier to sample, and you don't have to load several samples, and it can give you an extra sampled vibe if you do it this way. So let's listen to the original sound. As you can see, a very big difference from this to this. And I left 2 beats at the end so that I can add something else. And this is also when the tom's feel plays. So I wanted to leave this space empty so that we could have the tom feel working together there. So it was a little bit hard to pronounce, but yeah, that was my main idea. Okay, so after that, I also added, I thought it was sounding nice, but I wanted more emphasis on the offbeat piano, the tung, tung, tung. I wanted more emphasis on that. So what I did was I loaded the same piano from the same folder, and this is the cool thing about having all the instruments, and then a sample with all the instruments, and then a separate sample for each instrument. So what I did was I loaded the piano only, and then I pitched it up also 500 cents, and then I played only the notes that I wanted in combination with the sample. This is how the piano sample looks like. As you can see, it's from the same folder, My Bros Where You At Piano, and this is how it sounds. So the main idea with this one was to add a little bit more emphasis on the offbeat, like I said. So let's listen now the sample with the piano for you to see the difference, what this extra piano made, or how it helped in the track. So let's listen to the sample and the piano together, and I will disable or mute the piano only in the offbeat. So as you can hear, it's quite a big difference. When I take it off, it sounds nice also, but it doesn't have that emphasis in the piano that I think it sounds really, really cool and makes the track, it makes a big difference in the track. So let's listen now this with the drums, and let's see how does this sound all together. And as you can hear, whenever the sample stops, that's when the tom fill plays. So this, I think it gave a really nice vibe and a nice way to break up the loop and coming back. Okay, so next up, let's look at the bass. The bass, I wanted to have a very hip-hop bass and something that I could relate to in a more hip-hop vibe. So what I did was go with my trusty 3X oscillator, and as you guys know already, I use this sequence of oscillator shapes, and then I put the coarse pitch all the way to the 0, and then I apply here a low pass filter so that I can remove some of the higher harmonics that are generated because of this square and this type of wave. And this is how the bass sounds and looks like. So it sounds really cool, really dope. Let's see in the context of the track to see how it sounds with the rest of the instruments. Okay, really cool. So at this point I said, okay, I like the beat, I like how it sounds, but I wanted to add something else to support the track, especially in the chorus, because this would be a nice part to have in the verse. But I thought, okay, let me maybe add something else for the chorus so that we can have some variation, some different vibes to the chorus. And what I did was I added a string pattern. And this string pattern is from Air. It's a very simple preset that I have here, which is called Octave Big String. So basically this plays 2 octaves. So it gives even a little bit more fullness to the strings. So let's listen to the strings alone and let's see how they sound. And this basically is the chords that I have. And yeah, let's hear how they sound. So I think they sound really, really cool. And as you can see actually here, sorry, as you can see here in the playlist, I added 2 different parts. So in the normal loop, I have at the end of the last 2 beats, I have in the last bar, in the last 2 beats, I have a drum fill. And I didn't want to have the drum fill and the strings at the same time. So what I did was like, okay, since I have the drum fill, I will play the drum fill in the first 4 bars of the chorus, and in the last 4 bars of the chorus, I will just play the last part of the string. So what I did in the first bar, in the first 4 bars of the chorus, when the tom's fill plays, I cut the strings, and in the last bar of the second part of the chorus, I hope that makes sense, I just removed the tom fill and I played the strings fully. And you can see here the difference. So here we don't have strings and we have the tom fill, and here we don't have the tom fill but we have the strings. Let's hear again how the strings sound together with the beat. So here the basic idea was to give some extra variation to the beat. So in the first part of the chorus we have the tom fills. In the last part of the chorus we have the strings. So that's something that you can play with. And sometimes just having one element over the other or toggling between the 2 elements, it can make the difference of making the track sound completely different from one part to the other. So that's what I wanted to do. And then I just created a normal arrangement, a simple thing to have the track done. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to buy a copy of this construction kit, I will have a link in the description, or if you are watching this tutorial in the product page, you'll be able to download it or buy it somewhere around here in one of the sites. And that's it. If you are new here to this channel, subscribe and activate the notifications so that you can know when I upload new videos. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Also consider supporting this channel by buying one of the products at dailybeats.pt like this one, or becoming a premium member, and you will have access to the entire videos that I do for the channel, for the website, and you will be able to download project files and sample packs. We have a huge list of sample packs that you can download from, so that you can improve your sound library. And you will also have access to the exclusive Q&A sessions where I gather all of your questions and I answer with videos especially for you, so that I can help you accelerate your learning curve and make you a better producer faster, so that you can reach your production goals faster. That's it. My name is Tiago Duarte, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.